How's it going, guys? It's Black Asmongold here, and today we're going to be looking at the Walten Files Explained in 10 minutes, made by none other than Darkly. I know you see Dash right there. Darkly, the channel. We're going to be going through a bunch of scenes that were in the Walten Files series, but it's going to be condensed into 10 minutes. Yes, I see that the Walten Files have already posted a video, and I should probably just react to it, because I went to go see Foxymations and Green Buzz. Foxymation got something called a Stone Child, or whatever it's called, the Stone Man. Yeah, nothing really crazy on that. So without any further ado, let's alright, let's check this out.
Consisting of 3 tapes, the company introductory tape takes us beyond the surface of a simple orientation into cryptic warnings for Sophie, the rise of Bond's possession, and his very first kill. The first tape plays like a friendly training video, teaching new facility caretakers how to clean and repair animatronics, while Jack Walten and Felix Kranken assure us it's all about wonderful experiences. But the cheerful tone breaks when the K9 storage facility is mentioned, an isolated site holding broken animatronics from Bond's burgers. Then, Rocket, a cartoon rabbit, suddenly appears speaking in reverse, sending a direct warning to Sophie Walten. What we thought of as employee onboarding is just a cursed message for the Nepo baby. The next tape shifts into a 1979 cartoon called Little Bond's Neighborhood in an episode titled Bond's Super Sleepover. It's all fun at first until Billy is swapped with Jack Walten's face as the TV flashes "Let me out of here" and Sophie's pill bottle appears on screen, a creative way to put the tragic fate of the father and daughter. Later, Bond wakes to noises. He tried to spark a lighter, which took him a couple of tries, and when he finally did, he disappeared. He's now replaced by Sophie in a caretaker uniform. Behind her is a withered Bond, another sign of what's coming for her.
So they're called caretakers? Instead of just like security guards, they're called, because I know Walten Files is inspired by FNAF, so yeah.
The last tape jumps ahead to 1982, following caretaker Brian Stells on his assignment at the abandoned K9 storage facility. He records his inspection of the place because the company says so. He sees old photos.
You go to an abandoned place because the company says so. I'm going to an abandoned place because I'm getting paid for this. Now, how much am I getting paid? Am I getting paid in McDonald's bucks? Am I getting paid in McDonald's salary? And if so, and that's the funny thing here, working at McDonald's is at least better than doing whatever the fuck this is. Because if I'm exploring this abandoned place by myself with abandoned animatronics, I want 100K an hour. And I'll be there for at least 9 hours, and hopefully I don't die.
And the broken Bond animatronic. He plays with Bond until it starts moving on its own. That's
You play with an animatronic in an abandoned place in the middle of the night. Okay.
scared the crap out of him, so he ran. Bond chased after him while its facial recognition tried to decide if Brian was Sophie. Believing he was, Bond mauled the caretaker. The episode closes on Jack Walten's smiling photo set to Claire de Lune, marking the beginning of Bond's killing spree. Relocate Project. This episode focuses on the relocation of Bond's burgers after the 1974 shutdown. While the comeback of the Five Nights at Freddy's dupe was in progress, the animatronics and props were stored at the K9 storage facility. During the move of Billy to that facility, animatronics and props were
You go back to an abandoned factory. And you see this fuck shit right here? You're dead. You're dead. Look at them. Look how sadistic each and every single one of these fuckers look like. Why the fuck would I go back to an abandoned caretaker unit shelter just to get fucked over again? This doesn't make any sense.
stored at the K9 storage facility. During the move of Billy to that facility, the missing Jack Walten made a surprise appearance as the driver. And just like that, his possessed animatronics recruitment begins. Part of the revival involved reprogramming the animatronics. Banny's new Looking for Friends feature glitched into the face of missing technician Susan Woodings, and in the Walten Files universe, that can only mean one thing. Susan is now inside Banny. That is confirmed when we see Banny trapped in a looping room, followed by Susan's missing poster. Next is a canine training tape hosted by Shah that shifted into Rosemary Walton's story midway. After Jack vanished, she visited the restaurant every night until a voice lured her backstage. Instead of her husband, she found Bon, who killed her and put her inside Shah's suit. And for the final tape, 3 technicians named Hillary, Ashley, and Kevin stayed to finish repairs. Ashley found a key to the back doors, leading to spare parts, unused animatronics. Ashley and Kevin, she visited the restaurant every night, trapped in a looping room, followed by Susan's missing poster. Next is a canine training tape hosted by Shah that shifted into Rosemary Walton's story midway. After Jack vanished, she visited the restaurant every night until a voice lured her back.
You visited the restaurant every night for what? Just to what was there? And why was it at the night?
Stage. Instead of her husband, she found Bon, who killed her and put her inside Shah's suit. And for the final tape, 3 technicians named Hillary, Ashley, and Kevin stayed to finish repairs. Ashley found a key to the back doors, leading to spare parts, unused animatronics, and Billy the Clown. She saw a cassette inside Billy that listed Jack, Susan, Charles, Rosemary, and Sophie. It played a song before the lights went out as Bon appeared right in her face. The next thing she knew, she was stuffed inside Billy, becoming the 4th member of the band. Bunny Farm. Styled as a gameplay, Bunny Farm introduces Season 2's main characters, Sophie Walton and Jenny Letterson. On the surface, it looks like a simple beta arcade game, but the unfinished design hides memories Sophie had long forgotten. Jenny plays it off as random bugs, while Sophie realizes the game is showing her the truth about her family and the people tied to Bond's burgers. The minigames reveal how several characters were killed and trapped in the animatronics. Banny's stage shows Susan Woodings, the company's lead engineer, who was murdered backstage and stuffed inside Banny. Boozoo's game points to the disappearance of Charles Brooke, while Shaw's sequence ties directly to Rosemary Walton, who searched for Jack after his disappearance and was instead taken by Bond. Pages from Linda Thompson's diary also appear, confirming Felix's alcoholism and unstable home life, setting the stage for what came next. Sophie was taken on May 2nd, 1974, when Felix drove drunk with her siblings, Ed and Molly, after a school event. The crash killed them, and Felix buried their bodies in the forest rather than face Jack. Their spirits survived through Rocket, the doll built for them, who became their vessel outside Wonderland. By the end, Rocket is shown alongside the children's faces, leaving Sophie to realize the game isn't broken at all. It's making her relive how her siblings died. To realize the game isn't broken at all. It's making her relive.
Alright, we finally found Rocket. Now can we leave? Wow. Wow. This, yeah, just, if you could take any advice from this story alone, don't drink and drive.
How her siblings died. Cyberfun Tech. Cyberfun Tech is the 4th Walten Files episode, and it takes a step back from the chaotic tapes to explain the company behind the animatronics, while also diving into Felix Kranken's downfall and the horrific fate of Susan Woodings. The episode begins by flashing back to May 2nd, 1974, the night Felix crashed his car while drunk, killing Ed and Molly Walton. Their spirits would later appear in Wonderland, the series' stand-in for Purgatory. From there, the tape shifts into Cyberfun Tech promos, highlighting the showstoppers, Rosemary Walton as lead artist and Susan Woodings as head engineer. On the surface, it feels like corporate fluff, but Bond's presence bleeding into the footage makes it clear these machines are already corrupted. We also see early testing of Cyberfun's console system, including walk-around and facial recognition. When Rocket is scanned, the system reads "No faces found," only for distorted images of Ed and Molly to appear. It's a literal way of showing how Felix erased their deaths while the children themselves still linger in the machines. The core of the tape, however, is Susan's story. She's attacked backstage by Bond and later finds herself in Wonderland, face to face with his true form. He offers her a gift, forcing her into the Banny suit. By the end, Susan is left trapped inside the animatronic while Ed and Molly's spirits arrive too late. Cyberfun tech may look like a tech demo on the outside, but it's really the tale of how Felix's mistakes and Bond's possession created another victim. Lacrimosa. Lacrimosa is the hidden tape that picks up after Cyberfun tech showing what became of Susan Woodings while tying back to the tragedy of Ed and Molly Walton. It opens with police at Clear Hill River searching for the missing children, their shoes left behind as the only trace. The footage suddenly shifts into another cheerful Cyberfun tech demo, explaining the CT console, a disc that programs animatronic movement and facial tracking. The system is meant to keep robots from bumping into things, but it also means their eyes are always recording and sometimes misidentifying whoever they see. From there, the tape turns into Susan's grotesque transformation. We see Bond forcing her broken body inside the Banny suit, while a voicemail from Charles Brooke plays in the background, begging for answers about her disappearance. The console screen even reconstructs her face upside down, a clear sign she's crossed into something no longer human. The rest of the tape follows Susan trapped in Banny's body, staggering through
Shit. Wow.
endless dark rooms, her neck bent from the attack. Heavy breathing, static, and knocking sounds stalk her every step until she finds a television showing quick flashes of shadows and Bond watching from behind the doors. Finally, a distorted voice calls her into the forest. Bond appears once more, now headless with only his eyes glowing, blocking her escape. The Mysterious House. While a non-canon episode, The Mysterious House still fits the Walten Files vibe. It centers around a pair of
Oh yeah, I made a reaction to that video, and yeah, it was still, yeah. I even made a music video, if, believe it or not. Yeah, fucked.
trick-or-treating kids who get lured into a suspicious house on Halloween, giving more missing kids, haunted mascots, and another fun-sized trauma dump. Ducky and Tammy argue about their weak candy haul. Ducky, cosplaying a picnic blanket, got blamed by Tammy, who was just herself, for the little candy collection. They almost ended their friendship because of that, but just decided to continue and look elsewhere, all while ignoring the missing children posters. Eventually, they stumble upon a weird house in the woods, where Witch Sheep invites them inside. They meet the pumpkin rabbit and get candy, plus a spooky photo tour of other trick-or-treaters who definitely didn't go home. Later that night, Ducky vanishes. Tammy searches the hall.
Yeah, so a lot of people had questions about why they were so dumb to trust absolute crazy fucking strangers and living inside those strangers' fucking house, like sleeping in their houses. They just met them. And they also were concerned about their safety when they said, hey, we're in a stranger's house in the middle of the night. Might as well just go back home. Ducky and Tammy. Yeah, that's who I'm talking about, by the way. So, basically, I came up with the theory that since they lived in a time, like a timeline, like in the 70s, 80s era, right? Because I feel like the Walten Files, whoever who's in charge of making the animations and the story, besides that, like the main author, the guy who created all this, I think that he loves the 70s and 80s so much, he actually carried on creating some aesthetics behind it as well. And those aesthetics are that the fact that children back then also had the mindset of listening to adults no matter what. Like, I believe that the don't follow strangers PSAs, those like commercials that told you not to talk to strangers, before that time was there, like there was probably milk cartons that were created on that during that time as well. So basically, during that timeline, there was a lot of trust put into small neighborhoods like this, where this is all happening in Nash Lake. And in small towns, people didn't mind having the doors unlocked. They trusted everybody. It really didn't matter, right? In the middle of the night, so they would have their doors unlocked. So obviously, they would probably not have any reason to have little kids sleeping in, I guess, a whole entire different house, a different household. They didn't even get the chance to even call their parents when they were there. But that's basically what I captured from these 70s, 80s, backstory, why were they so successful in keeping these kids in this house, was because back then kids were taught to follow adults if they get lost, or follow an adult if they were in danger, or they, to keep them from dangerous shit. And I guess that's what happened to them. That's why they trusted these people, because they were not only friendly enough to give them free candy, which is something you definitely should not be doing, obviously. So yeah, 70s and 80s. I think that's the timeline where kids were taught to just listen to adults, no matter what, even if they're strangers, because they know better, right? And they would keep them out of trouble. So yeah, I think that's what would be a theory. 2-minute fucking theory. Let's get back to the video.
Alone, and things go into full panic mode. Ducky's body is found mangled, surrounded by corpses of other kids in the house's photo collection. The pumpkin rabbit appears, removes his mask to reveal a burnt face, and kills Tammy. Lesson learned, maybe just stick to the suburbs for next Halloween. The return of the pumpkin rabbit.
Maybe just stick to the suburbs for what? Just stick to the suburbs for next Halloween. I mean, yeah, I understand. Maybe they're in the rural area. I mean, they did have like a pumpkin patch, a farm, all that. But the thing is, yeah, again, it drives into my theory that this is in the suburbs, and they were like in a small town, so everybody knows each other. I'm guessing that they just, I don't know.
Following the events of the mysterious house, the return of the pumpkin rabbit takes us to another grim fate of a new set of children. These unlucky kids are Jay, Dino, Ralph, and Paco. Like Ducky and Tammy, they're just here for candy, not trauma, but peer pressure is powerful, so up the hill they go to revisit the infamous Waterman house. The spooked out Ralph begs to leave, but Jay ignores him, so they split up. Nice choice, cause what could possibly go wrong by splitting up? Inside, the witch sheep returns, still oddly polite for a murderer, and lures them with candy. Paco breaks off to follow a Ducky imposter, Dino steals a photo book, and Ralph gets chased down by the pumpkin rabbit after bumping into Tammy's scarecrow body. Slowly, the group is picked off until only Jay and Dino remain, cornered in a basement filled with mannequins dressed in victim costumes, and a rainbow that screams, "The end."
And what puzzles me about this whole entire mysterious house sequel is the fact that Paco was following supposedly another kid. But in my mind, I'm thinking, why did he need to be lured into another room? And why did he follow this kid, like, to get out of the house? Like, this is the way out. Like, were they stuck in the house? I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they still had the option to leave.
The photo book reveals the true names of the killers, Lorenzo and Rachel Waterman. Jay burns the book, awakening the vengeful souls who finally consumed their murderers. Jay and Dino survive, barely, rescued by Jay's dad. Along their way home, the spirits of Ralph and Paco are seen in the forest. The friends they left behind, reminders of their dark encounter that will haunt them forever. Hotline.
Okay, so this is the last one. So, yeah, what I have to say about Rachel and Lorenzo, there is a video out there about them being in their, what I could call it, their loop, their infinite hell. There is a word for it. I just don't know what it is. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, basically they're in hell, and the kids that they murdered, they're, I suppose, ghosts or the monsters that they've created with them, because they were like, they took their, like, they skinned them. I don't know what the fuck they did to them, but their bodies were there, and now they created these monsters, and these monsters are now looking at them constantly, like limbo. Yeah, limbo. That was the word I was looking for. It's a constant limbo of these kids that turn into monsters, and these monsters are laughing back at them. That is artistry. I liked that shit. So basically, you're telling me Rachel and Lorenzo killed these kids, turned them into disgusting corpses of what the fuck ever they created out of them, and then only to meet their fates not only by being eaten by these monsters that they create, these monster corpse, whatever the fuck it's called, only to be laughed at, these monstrous looking ass corpses in limbo. That is crazy. I respect Walten Files for doing that. That's actually fucking crazy.
Hotline is a mini episode about the night shift of David Gonzalez at the K9 storage facility. It starts off with summer vibes and company greetings, showing off a hospitality basket, dusty hallways, and broken animatronics like Banny
Oh, you got propel bottles. Okay, that's nice.
and Billy. Employees are told to call the Bunny Smiles hotline for emergencies, but only during the ghost business hours between 10 p.m. and 10 a.m. David ends up using that phone after hearing things and seeing shadows saying, "I don't feel safe," to which Mike from Home Offices helpfully replies, "Not really an emergency though, is it?" And later on, to just wait calmly till his shifts end. Things spiral when Buzu plays a creepy nursery rhyme, Bond grows twice his size, and Charles Brooke appears looking like the ghost of unpaid overtime. David's calls for help are ignored, and the company offers him a $5 merch gift card to stay put.
A five? You mean 50? You mean 50,000, right? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this right here. Yeah, that's supposed to be Goku, right? That's Goku. Anyways, if you get the joke, then you understand the backstory, the origins of the character, what inspired to create the character. You know, I'm not gonna get into it.
I'll sweeten the deal. Stay, and I'll include a $5 gift card for any Bunny Smiles related merch.
He
$5,000, right? $5,000. $5,000. Not $5. Why would I fucking stay in an abandoned, dirty ass animatronic facility just to die for $5? And it's not even a good one. It's not even Target. I don't think you can get anything from Target for $5. Maybe, I think you can. It's a good discount. But it's not Target. It's whatever the fuck company I'm working for.
eventually flees through the woods only to be followed by bloody visions of Charles and a very broken Susan as Banny. The tape ends with a doll singing and staring directly at us while whispering, "I need help." That's the wrap for these Walten Files tapes. Hit subscribe and catch you in the
Fuck that. Fuck that. I don't know what got in their minds thinking, "Oh, I could just stay here and get paid pennies to get my ass fucked by a bunch of animatronics." That is crazy. I'm done. Anyways, go support Darkly. Link to the video will be in the description. Go support Darkly, and I'm out of here.